Hey, this is Tommy Victor from Prong, and I'm blowing it up on Capital Chaos TV.
This is Todd Owens with Capital Chaos TV, and we are here tonight in San Francisco at the Regency Ballroom with Tommy from Prong. How you doing tonight?
What's up, Todd? Or is it Zod?
Zod or Todd?
All right, I like Zod.
All right, nice, awesome. So yeah, we were just talking a little bit about this is like I think 35 out of 36 date on this little North America U.S. tour. How's the tour been going?
It's a great tour. I mean, we had a really good run on this one. It's just amazing attendance. Great guys to tour with. Both bands were really cool. So, had a great time.
It's a cool lineup because I think like you could probably go back like 25 years and this tour could roll, right? Probably back in
I mean
Sepultura, Prong, and Testament. They were all rolling back then.
Well, I was talking to somebody. I was saying it's kind of a legacy tour, but other people are going, no, it's not. So I mean, everyone keeps putting new records out, and they're relevant, and it's a good thing.
Yeah. You have a touring history with either of these bands in the past?
Mainly Sepultura.
Okay.
Yeah, we did a run with them with Pantera.
Pantera. I was going to say back in the early '90s.
Yeah. And Testament, we done a couple of one-offs with them, and Chuck really likes the band, and so wanted us to get on to do a full tour with them for years now, and we finally made it happen. So, he made it happen. So we're happy about that. Chuck Billy.
Probably awesome with that when you. Normally, I like to ask if like headliners, how much say you have in the bands you bring out, but in this case, they're the headliner and they brought you out, so that must be cool.
Well, Chuck has a lot of power. I mean, he
does management too.
Yeah. So. This is great. I mean, it's a great opportunity for us. We keep the touring on No Absolutes going, and then we have a new record coming out in July. So it's perfect timing.
All right. So I'll jump to that in 1 second. Just so winding this tour down, and then you got a bunch of European stuff booked over the next 2-3 months or whatever, like June, July, and August, right? So
yeah, and there's Hellfest in June, Grass Pomp. Then we do Wacken and a bunch of other festivals and our own headlining shows through July into August.
So are you going to be over there, or are you going to be like flying back and forth?
I'm going to fly back. I mean, I
know there's some breaks in there.
Yeah, I'm going to fly back. I think Art's going to hang out. I got some other things I got to do.
But you're mixing it up with some of the festival dates, and then also putting together some tours of just you guys running. More smaller.
We're
Germany or something.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sweet. You talked about. All right. Before we talk to the new album, I'll talk about touring, and you guys have been touring. Obviously, been around since '86 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, '90 was where we really started rolling, more or less.
So tour-wise, is there what's like major changes touring now versus touring back in maybe the '90s?
I don't know. I mean, for Prong, it's never really that much different. I mean, we never got huge enough to experience like jet planes and like total luxury. So, I mean, this is about it. Like we're sharing.
You're on the big bus.
Yeah, I mean, we're sharing a bus with Sepultura. I mean, it's comfortable enough for me. I mean,
better than a van.
Yeah, I mean, I get in the van too and just make it happen. So it really hasn't changed that much for me. I mean, for other bands, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of big bands that are playing smaller venues nowadays, and then there's these huge bands that don't really have that many records out, and they're massive all of a sudden, and they're playing arenas. So it's the same thing all the time. It just doesn't make any sense.
And is any big differences touring U.S. versus touring over in Europe?
Again, I mean, people always ask that, and I mean, for Prong, it really
even just the way they take care of you over there a little more. Or?
Yeah, they take care of you a little better over there.
That's what I've heard.
Not in England, in the UK, but more or less.
Fuck you.
Yeah, in Germany, yeah. I mean, they like to do things the right way, supposedly. But the audiences, I mean, to me, being an American band, I like playing in America and having this is the acceptance in America. But I mean, the crowds are about the same. I mean, it's not really that much different. It seems to be similar.
Gotcha. All right, so yeah, you mentioned No Absolutes was out, I think, early 2016, and so you're already working on new material?
No, we got a new album coming
it's
out.
already
Done, ready to go. July 28th. It's called 0 Days. It comes out July 28th. Yeah, between tours, and while I was on tour, working on material, then just going crazy while I was home, and doing another quick record. So, yearly record.
Yeah. What's the writing style? Is it primarily you, and then you bring the guys in, or?
No, I mean it's all collaborative.
Collaborative, okay.
Yeah. So, Chris Collier, who produces the records with me, he does a lot of work on it. So he contributes a lot.
You've been working with him for a while.
Yeah, I mean we did Ruining Lives together, No Absolutes. He engineered a lot of songs from the Black Hole, which is a covers record, and I cut the vocals with him. So, I mean, this is the 4th record I've worked with him.
All right, so new material, July you said, huh?
Yeah, it's a new album.
Album.
Yeah, I mean, the single should drop soon. It's got some really heavy stuff on it. I mean, it's some really killer riffs, hardcore groove metal, thrash, some dark stuff on there. Pretty happy with it. And then, we got the anthems too, like good groove anthem songs on it. So it's pretty packed with power. It's a very impressive record, I think.
So that's awesome. We're looking forward to hearing that. I wanted to go back to the early days a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
If you can remember. Back then in the, maybe when you were, the thought process was going on about, I want to do my own band or whatever. What was like the bands that you were listening to, or what was some of the bands that like were really kind of like, inspiring you to say, I want to pick up guitar and sing? And so you were at CBGB's, right? So you've probably seen a lot of bands coming through, right? Like,
that's
sound at CBGB's.
That's an integral part of my career, was working there. I was exposed to a lot, but I was on the scene. I lived on the Lower East Side. I got the hell out of Queens and moved down there. Lived
action was
rock.
Happening.
Yeah, I mean, it was so much going on and so many bands, and it was an artist, music community, and something that doesn't really exist that much anymore. And there's a lot of clubs to play, and I started working there at CB's
what year did you start working there?
86.
Okay. So at the same time.
Yeah, I just got out of audio school, and then I needed an internship, so I knew everyone there because I was hanging around. Yeah, I was hanging out. I was hanging out there since I was like 14 years old. So, I knew some people, and they needed another sound guy, so I just started working at the audition nights and inevitably the hardcore matinees, and then during the week. And then Mike Kirkland, who we formed the band with together, he was working the door. So, and sometimes I worked the door too, but I was always there. And
two of you were spending a lot of time together. And
yeah, so let's form a band. I was like, and at that point, I really was a bass player, and I just sort of dabbled a little bit in guitar, and I never really sang in a band, and it just came together. It was just like one of these lucky things. I mean, we got at his apartment, came up with a couple of songs, and formed a band. So, and then we got popular really fast, and the rest is history. But the bands that we liked, we had a lot in common as far as music goes, obviously, to form a band together. One being like Discharge, Bad Brains was a big influence, Killing Joke, Joy Division, anything from Lou Reed to Bowie, The Doors. Ted was really into he turned me on to some more like a lot of metal. I was into Celtic Frost a lot, but then he got me into. So I think what he really turned me on. He turned me on to Creator and Destruction, and then.
Well, that's interesting because they were more like, for me, like in the early thrash bands, they had a little more of that kind of punkish edge to them, right?
Well, those are the bands that we liked. Motorhead was at that time, that was like the coolest metal band, and then Venom came around, and Frost, and that was those set the standards for something like Prong. And then there was thrash metal that was starting to come around. Obviously Metallica, and I was really into Dark Angel. Was a band I was really into. I mean, we were just constantly
Overkill?
records. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, like original Overkill, I was not into that much. I mean, I'm into them later.
You're wearing an Overkill hoodie, that's why.
No, I mean, I like them nowadays more than I did back then.
Okay. Gotcha.
I just think their records have gotten better and better, and we were touring with them a lot. So, but back then, we played a couple of shows with Overkill, but we were involved with. We would play like some shows with Warzone and hardcore bands, the Crumbsuckers. And then we do a show with like White Zombie. Like we were roaming around with White Zombie a lot, and so we had like this crossover appeal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bringing in a lot of different influences. Yeah. This is a tough question though. Maybe you can try to answer it. If you had to pick like 3 albums, that you're on a desert island. These are the only 3 albums you can listen to. What would it be? Something that comes in your mind.
I mean, The Doors' "Soft Parade" would definitely be one of them. Yeah, I mean, I listen to Doors probably more than anything.
Okay. Doors Soft Parade. 1.
Probably Disraeli Gears, Cream. I'd have to put it. I mean, let's say Volume 4, Sabbath.
Right, there you go.
Okay.
Volume 4 might be on my list.
Between Volume 4
Master.
And
Master of
Reality.
Reality.
I have to go to a Deep Purple record. Just stick with Sabbath.
Good choices. I want to ask too, because you spent some time like in ministry, you spent some time with Danzig. Is it just different doing those things as opposed to doing Prong, where it's more like you're kind of the man, you're the lead guy?
Well, I enjoy Prong more than anything. I mean, Prong is cool. I mean, obviously, participating and writing the songs, producing the records,
and being the lone continuous soul. That's
your
baby for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's my baby and a lot of other people's baby, but I mean, I enjoy, and it's a little more challenging. I mean, ministry was sort of, I don't know. I mean, I don't really know how much I got out of that whole thing, and
did you record with them as well?
Yeah, and I worked on a bunch of records with him.
Okay.
So, Rio Grande Blood, Last Sucker, Relapse, Co-Conspirators, and I'm on one of the live records. And then, with Glenn, I mean, I've been on the last 4. So, the first one was Circle of Snakes. Then I'm on Death Threat Sabbath. I'm on a couple of Lost tracks. So I'm on Skeletons.
Working relationship if you've done that.
Yeah, I mean, I've known Glenn forever, and he calls me up, wants me to play with him. I'm not going to say no.
It's all right. Just wanted to ask, it's in the news now, obviously. We just lost Chris Cornell. If you had any thoughts on that, if you knew him or anything.
Oh, of course. I mean, I was just looking on the phone. I mean, Ted sent a picture, because we toured with them. That was our first tour.
All right.
It was with Voivod and Soundgarden. And, I mean, like Chris and I, we hung out back then. It is obviously with his popularity, and I don't know what to do with my phone, but I have it. Oh, here it is. So, yeah. I mean, we have an early picture. We were on tour with it together with him. So, I mean, we hung out a lot. And then, because he's inevitably became on the cover of GQ magazine and People. I mean, I sort of lost touch with him. I mean, a lot of these guys get hugely famous. And then, Sexiest Man Alive and all these things that happen with him. So, it's like, well, I'll show it to you later. But, see how young we were, little babies when we were touring with them. I mean, they were great guys. I mean, it's like, but I mean, I think success screws with people's heads. So, that's we were talking about Jim Morrison. I mean, he died at 26. It's like Hendrix. I mean, Chris had a long career, and I don't know. I have no idea why why he committed suicide, but he always seemed like a level-headed kid. But it's like success and pride and ego gratification will inevitably get to you. That's why you got to stay somehow balanced in this. It's madness. The entertainment business is crazy. Look at Michael Jackson. These guys wind up to be lunatics. Yeah. So it's somehow maintaining sanity is a top priority for me, and I don't even know if I do a good job at that at all. So
you're doing something right.
Yeah, I mean,
been going for a long time and still here, and
I just definitely stay away from.
Except for you guys, it's been more of a steady pace as opposed.
Yeah,
to
I mean, we're always struggling. Yeah, I mean, I just keep rolling. That's I try to stay in the moment. Live for today. I mean, I was this other guy I did an interview with today. It's like, oh, you have the vinyl of Beg to Differ. I'm like, no. I mean, you have these posters. I'm like, I don't have any of my stuff. I don't. A lot of times, like, I've gotten the stuff and like I throw it out or just lose it. I mean, I'm not. I don't. I mean, I live in a place. There's no relics of Prong where I live. Like, I go to another guy's house, and it's like, oh, look at this, picture with me, and like, oh, I got this, all their record covers, and it's like a big, the mecca of their career, and I'm just not like that. It makes me uncomfortable. So I mean,
you're not living in past glories either. You're just trudging along.
I enjoy.
Ahead.
We play like old songs. Right, I mean, it's. We play Unconditional and Beg to Differ and Prove You, and all of them. So, I mean, I like playing the songs. I mean, that's it. It's a really simple thing. It's like I like jumping around a little bit, making stupid faces, and maybe make people happy for a little bit, and that's about it.
Do you see yourself doing this? Been asking a lot of people lately, like, you're in the Lemmy vibe where you just want to be on stage and then you die and you'd leave us, or do you want to maybe step away at some point?
Right now, I mean, the way things look, I mean, if I could financially continue doing it, I want to continue doing it. It's like, I mean, what else? I mean, it's kind of, I mean, I have to have some gratitude towards the process, and it's a gift. So I don't want to be, maybe people still interested in Prong records and, coming to shows or whatever, and then I'll keep doing it. If it's really becomes like I'm pulling teeth, and I may have to think about being a greeter at Walmart or something.
All right. Last question I ask sometimes musicians is if any gear you want to talk about, any guitars, amps.
Yeah, I mean, I have my own signature model guitar, which I'm very happy with. It's a Tommy Victor signature model put out by Schecter. It's a double cutaway. It's very similar to like an Iommi SG type of model. It's got a tremolo bar and glow-in-the-dark stuff on it. It's kind of cool. I mean, they've been selling
Tommy Victor Schecter.
Yeah, it's a cool. You look it up on Schecter. Then I use a Kemper amp, and I keep it simple. I don't use regular amplifiers anymore. I use a Kemper Profiler with a MIDI pedal board, as MIDI controlled volume and wah-wah pedal built into a Behringer MIDI controller. It's really simple.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, I mean, I have to sing and play. I can't be. I mean, I'm jumping around and enough, changing channels enough. I mean, I don't need anything more than that.
Sweet. And do you cycle through a lot of guitars during your set, or do you have one or two?
Two. There's two different tunings that we use, so I mean, that's I'll switch off. But it's the same model, just different tuning.
Gotcha. All right, that's all I had. Anything else you want to add for Capital Chaos TV people that might be watching?
New record, Prong, 0 Days, July 28th. Single should be hitting Spotify soon, called However It May End. First single, heavy one.
Don't be a dick, buy their music.